Afghanistan is in the works right now. Experts say Nidal Hasan is just one high-profile example of the massive amount of psychological stress our troops are dealing with. And on this Veterans Day, care providers say those troops need to be recognized and helped more than ever.
The shooting at Fort Hood that took 13 lives and wounded 29 other soldiers is also taking its toll on the morale of our troops. Troops that have enough difficulties to deal with already.
There's a lot of weight on their shoulders. They carry the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Dr. Bridget Cantrell is a psychologist who speaks to troops at Fort Hood and around the country. She works with our state's Veterans Administration as a specialist in post-traumatic stress disorder. Dr. Cantrell says the Fort Hood case may grab the headlines, but there are thousands of soldiers who feel just as unstable as Nidal Hasan, and his case should be a wake-up call.
He's not alone in this. You know, there's a lot of internal turmoil.
Turmoil has many sources, but Dr. Cantrell believes the unprecedented multiple deployments for our military into combat zones are wearing troops down. Even the commanding general at Fort Hood admits there are others in his ranks who could be feeling the same pressures as Nidal Hasan.
We have other soldiers that might have some of the same stress and indicators that he has, and we have to look across our entire formation, not just in a medical community, but really look hard to our right and left, and that's a responsibility of everybody from the top to the bottom to make sure we're taking care of our own.
With that responsibility comes hope. Dr. Cantrell says our local VA hospitals and Madigan Medical Center at Fort Lewis are working hard in innovative ways to help vets in need. But she says this job is too big for doctors or even the military. Dr. Cantrell says on this Veterans Day, it's time for you to reach out to a vet you know and say thanks, putting the politics surrounding Iraq and Afghanistan aside.
Leave that at the door, because it's about the souls of the men and women who serve our country, and we have an obligation to recognize and acknowledge them and thank them for their sacrifice.
For more information about this story and where vets can turn for help, go to Q13Fox.com. I'll have more on what Congress is considering that could be a huge boost for vets who need help coming up at 8:30. But I wanted to pass along some of the signs of post-traumatic stress you might notice in a vet you know. Some of those include recurring nightmares of combat, sleep problems, a lack of interest in things that used to be enjoyed. It's considered chronic if it's experienced 3 months or more, a big problem for a lot of vets.
How widespread is PTSD?
It's difficult to say. Some studies have said as many as 1 out of 8 soldiers coming back from combat experience PTSD, but the problem is only half of those troops actually even look for help. Bottom line, everyone is affected in some way by military service, whether it's a diagnosable condition or not. Take the first step. Reach out, talk to a vet, and at the very least, thank them for their service.
You better believe it. All right, Brian, thanks.